In this video, we're going to take a look at how to take an equation, take a graph and write an equation from that graph. So your equations that you write are going to be in our form y equals mx plus b. And in order to create this equation, you need to find two pieces of information from your graph. You're going to have to identify your y-intercept, or where the line crosses the y-axis, and then you're going to have to identify your slope. So we're going to look at this blue line first. And in order to fill in my equation, I'm going to start by looking at my y-intercept. And I see on the y-axis, my line crosses right here. So that's negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So b is negative 5. So I'm just going to write that down. And then we're going to take a look at our slope. Looking at this line, I know that it's going to be a positive slope because my line is moving up from left to right. So I'm going to start, I could pick any point to start at, and I'm going to count how many jumps it takes to get from this point to the next point on my graph. So if I'm moving up, I go 1, 2, 3, so that's my rise, and then I move over 2, so that's my run. And we'll try that again. If I start at this point, I go up 1, 2, 3, and I come over 1, 2. So therefore, my slope is a rise of 3 and a run of 2. So my equation would be y equals, in place of m, I put 3 over 2, and then in place of b, I put minus 5. So y equals 3 halves x minus 5. I can write a similar equation for my red line. So again, I'm going to start off with my y-intercept, and I see that it's crossing up here. So that's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So b equals 6. And then I have to count my way from one point to the other. And this time, notice that my line is moving down from left to right, which means it's going to be a negative slope. And that makes sense because if I start at this first point here, in order to go to my second point, I'm moving down. So my rise is going to be a negative number. So we just have to count and see what that negative number is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I went down 8, so that's a negative 8. And then I have to see how far I move over. So I'm moving to the right, which makes sense because the bottom should be a positive number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my slope is negative 8 over 5. So therefore my equation would be y equals, in place of m, I put negative 8 over 5, and in place of b, I put a positive 6. And that is how you take a graph and you write an equation.